Tonight on NNN After Dark, debuting an a cappella album. We have a sit-down with Purple Haze to tell us what's in store.
Plus, cooking and mocktails. NNN's Ellie Skelly brings perfect treats for friendsgiving.
And a live band shares their tunes with NNN.
Those stories and more tonight on NNN After Dark.
It's your arts and culture news right now.
Good evening and welcome to NNN After Dark. I'm Bridget Adu-Wadier.
And I'm Michaela Denault. We've got an exciting slate of arts and culture news from across Northwestern to take you through tonight. First up, NU has a rich student-run theater scene, and theater boards help make these shows happen. NNN's Victoria Ryan sat down with members of one to learn more.
The Vibrant Colors Collective, or VC Squared, is one of Northwestern's Student Theater Coalition Boards, or STUCO. Launched last April, it is the newest theater board on campus, serving as a place for people of color to create with each other.
History has kind of excluded us from that space or tokenized us. And VC Squared wanted to set up a place where POC could go to simply enjoy theater without feeling that history and that burden on them.
VC Squared recently completed their petition process and will welcome a new group of students to their board next quarter.
I thought it was a really safe space, a really collaborative space to pave the way for theater that represents a whole group of people.
The closing night performance of their most recent show was a blackout performance with priority seating for people of color.
And it was a really beautiful show with all POC audience spellers from different affinity groups on campus. And we brought in some of the different employees around campus.
Having just finished their run of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee in fall quarter, the board is currently rehearsing for their winter cabaret titled Ashiana, which will go up week 2.
It's all about homecoming, like going home, bringing home, and like celebrating that and celebrating the unique different places that we're all from.
Performing with collaboration and inclusivity in mind. Victoria Ryan, Northwestern News Network.
I checked out their Instagram and saw that next quarter is their cabaret. That'll be a great way to start off the winter. To keep up with them, you can follow them on Instagram at vc2.nu.
We turn next to South Area faculty and residents Dr. Ava Thompson Greenwell celebrated for her 1-year anniversary living on campus earlier this fall. NNN's Mila Branson takes a deeper look into what it's like to live on campus with a family.
As a journalism professor for over 30 years, Dr. Ava Thompson Greenwell is familiar with being surrounded by students. Now, as a faculty in residence, she and her spouse have spent the last year living with them.
I have really loved the opportunity to engage with students beyond the classroom. In fact, that's why I wanted to do this.
Alongside the other South Area faculty in residence, Myrna Garcia, Greenwell hosts many events like Crochet Club and Walk and Talk outings. But Greenwell says the unplanned time with students is just as valuable.
It's so much more convenient for me able to have interactions with students after hours and also outside of the classroom.
Although Greenwell enjoys hosting events like Therapeutic Thursdays here in the Zen Den of Shepherd Hall, there are also some challenges that come along with living on campus.
Sometimes they have scheduled alarms where they do let us know that there's going to be an alarm coming, and it could happen anytime. Happen at 3 in the morning, it could happen in the afternoon, at night.
With the ease of being close to work and home, Greenwell also finds that it can be difficult to leave NU grounds.
There are times when I find myself just doing everything on campus.
Despite challenges, the Greenwells say they enjoy the energy of life on campus.
So living here kind of brings me back to the days when I was a college student myself, so that's a good thing.
Both faculty and students living and learning together. Mila Branson, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Mila. It's so great to see Dr. Greenwell out and about interacting with students since she's been such a big part of the Northwestern community. And be sure to keep an eye on the South Scoop email newsletter for information on Greenwell's last few events before winter break.
A contributor to Northwestern's music hall being filled with harmony, Purple Haze has been a Northwestern staple since 1996. The a cappella group brings together a diverse group of student vocalists taking pride in their musical craft. With a repertoire that spans genres and eras, Purple Haze captivates audiences with their versatility. NNN's Madison Morgan had a chance to speak with Rinda Satyavolu, the PR official of Purple Haze, about what the group has on the record.
So Purple Haze is a co-ed a cappella group on campus. We're one of the 3 groups that competes in the ICCAs, which is the collegiate a cappella competition. We compete every other year. We're a completely student-run group, so our own arrangements, our own like leadership and all that. And yeah, it's a really tight-knit community. We're all a group of best friends, and it's a really awesome place to be.
So in terms of the creative process, like how do you guys choose what songs you're gonna sing and things of that nature?
So we have 2 people in leadership called the music directors, and they primarily kind of run the music aspects of how we do the songs. So they kind of get an ultimate say of what songs we do in concerts and stuff. The songs that we arrange are usually songs that have been pitched by students or have been arranged by our students, or our members, and they either pitch them and we vote, or they come in with an arrangement that we take a look at, and if it excites us, then we do that song.
Got it. So would you be able to join an a cappella group like Purple Haze without any musical singing experience?
100%. 100%. A lot of members in our groups didn't do music, like anything musical related in high school, and are coming into it because they just really like to sing and all that. We have a lot of members that don't know how to read sheet music, myself included. I'm not very strong in reading sheet music, and Purple Haze really caters to all different types of learning styles and like the people that and various experience levels.
So I heard that you guys were going on a trip, like internationally. Is that something you guys do often, and like where are you going?
Yeah, so we go on tour every year.
Yeah.
Usually we do it domestic and international switched every year. But it's different this year. Last year we went to Peru, which was awesome. This year we're going to Costa Rica. We usually reach out to the local community to see if they want performances. Sometimes we go to schools and perform for the kids. We have an EP releasing, so that's on all music platforms on November 29th. It's going to consist of the 3 songs that we worked on almost all of last year, and were the 3 songs as a part of our set for our competition, the ICCAs. And we've put in our blood, sweat, and tears into those songs, and we recorded them, and they're coming out super fabulous, and it's coming out on an album called Sapphire. Our thing is to do the PH for Purple Haze and incorporate that into the words that we use. And we also have our fall concert coming up on December 2nd at 9 p.m.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Of course.
Good luck with your future endeavors and Purple Haze's fun future to come.
And I can't wait to listen to the album when it comes out. That cover of Set Fire to the Rain sounds incredible. And although Purple Haze does not generate profits from album sales, Rinda says they haven't ruled out the possibility of internet fame. The main way to keep up to date with Purple Haze is by following their Instagram at PurpleHazeNU. You know, Bridget, that cover of Adele was so awesome. Purple Haze seems so cool. Actually, in 7th grade, I had a band and we sang Rolling in the Deep. Do you know anything about Northwestern's a cappella group?
I don't. I'm not the biggest a cappella person. I would say the only thing I know about it is the movie Pitch Perfect, which is based off Northwestern's a cappella scene, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's very awesome. Yeah. Coming up, connecting on campus. Learn more about a new dating app designed for college students by college students. We'll be right back.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
One, two, three, four.
Twine, a new dating app made exclusively for NU, helps you find your crush on campus. NNN's Alexia Kaduta-Browner swipes right into the story.
Finding your Northwestern campus crush might be made a bit easier with Twine, a new dating app made for college students.
On someone's profile, you'll see their graduation year, their major, and their hometown, things that people our age in college care about.
The app was created by former NNN reporter Lily Wolfson and launched earlier this fall.
When I was a freshman and I originally conceived of the idea, I thought, okay, this is solving a problem for me, so it must be solving a problem for at least a dozen of my friends. And then if that means that, then that means it's solving a problem for a way wider population at the school.
That idea, a response to hearing friends' concerns or dissatisfaction about using existing dating apps.
All of my young friends, they would download them and then delete them because they felt creeped out, they weren't satisfied, or they were scared to download them even if they wanted to try something new.
After downloading the app, students enter their Northwestern email, verify, and begin crafting their profile. With up to 6 images, personal interests, profile prompts, and more, users can learn a lot about their prospective match. After 2 weeks on the App Store, Twine has several hundred users from all 4 grades.
It's fun, like, you match with someone on it, and then maybe you'll see them down Sheridan the next week.
While still in its early days, Wolfson says she hopes the app will grow from here.
Eventually, we are hoping to have a paid feature where you can see people from other campuses, and then we will go hopefully city by city.
Connecting crushes on campus, Alexia Kaduta-Browner, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Alexia. Us here at NNN, we love Lily, and it's so great to see her doing big things. Even though she's not a part of the team anymore, it's so great to see her out and about making her app and achieving the big things. For more information and to download the app, check out their Instagram at TwineDate.
Hundreds of dancers from 3 different groups joined forces last week to bring the house down at Kahn Auditorium. NNN's Mira Henchy reports.
Backstage at Kahn Auditorium, preparations were underway for the school's biggest dance show of the year.
There's probably over 120 dancers in the show, not including our guest performers that we have every night.
3 NU dance groups, Boom Shaka, Fusion, and Refresh, put on Refusion Shaka. Preparations for the show began well before fall quarter.
We started preparing for RFS in the summer when we started selecting songs for our set and talking about choreographers and stuff like that.
Last Friday, it was showtime. Students, families, and staff quickly filled up Kahn Auditorium. The show lasted over 2 hours.
So many people put so many hours of work into this. You can really tell on stage just how creative and hardworking people are.
Guest performers Ahana Dance Project, K-Dance, and Northwestern Diva also showcased their creativity and talent. After the final bow, performers reunited with their family members and friends.
I mean, the dancing was incredible. Every group was different and unique, and it was super fun to see, and the audience was amazing.
Showcasing community and creativity through dance and drumming. Mira Henchy, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Mira. Refusion Shaka is one of my favorite shows to go see, although I didn't get to see it this year. I know that they put so much preparation in it, and they even start preparing in the summer. That's so crazy. It really shows all their hard work and dedication.
Maylia Tan is an artist through and through. Their talents range from modeling and acting to violin and aerial arts. Behind the scenes, they have an extensive list of design credits to their name, creating both props and graphics. NNN's Alicia Tang sat down with them last Friday.
So, Maylia, what inspired you to pursue things such as theater and design?
So I've always been an artistic kid growing up. In 6th grade, my middle school was doing a production of High School Musical, and I absolutely did not want to join until my mom brought an audition sheet to me and was like, "You're going to audition. I promise you, you're going to love this." And so I filled it out, I auditioned, And I loved it. She was right. And so I've been doing theater ever since. I student directed in high school, did all of the plays, all of the musicals, all of the one acts, and now I'm a theater major at Northwestern.
How did your mom know that you would be perfectly suited for theater?
My mom knew me. She is an amazing mom, and I started violin when I was 2 years old. I always sung, I was dancing, and so theater just seemed like the next step up.
And speaking of doing a lot of things, you're a theater major right now, but you're also pursuing minors and certificates in entrepreneurship, art theory and practice, leadership, and personal development. What drew you to such an eclectic mix of studies?
I feel like I'm a jack of all trades of sorts. I decided to do entrepreneurship because I've always also been business-minded. I had lemonade stands when I was a kid. With art and theory practice, I also do a lot of art. I've drawn as long as I could hold a pencil. With leadership, I developed a love of leadership through my leadership camp in high school, and then with my Curious Life certificate through personal development. Personal development is a super big value for me, and I think improving and always making sure you're the best you can be is something that's really important.
I know another important value to you is your queer Asian American identity. Can you tell me how that might inspire some of your work?
Growing up, when I was in 7th grade, I did a production of Mulan, like the Disney's Mulan, and I auditioned for Mulan because I am part Asian and part Chinese, and so I felt like I was able to sort of represent myself in that way. Then later on, when I went to Northwestern, I ended up doing another production of Mulan called The Ballad of Mulan, which was a traditional Beijing opera production, and that was more culturally appropriate and sensitive. And so as I've developed, I want to make sure that I'm staying true to that identity and also making sure it's representation in a good way where people are able to see themselves. And that's the same for the prom. As being queer and non-binary myself, I'm able to see myself on stage and be myself on stage.
What kind of legacy do you want to create? I saw that on your website you said that you are dedicated to sharing legacies to inspire creation and creating a legacy worth sharing.
I want to create a legacy where I was able to be myself and able to represent myself on stage so people growing up are able to see themselves in the work that I do, and so that I can create stories to inspire them as well so that they can do the same thing.
And we are currently on the set of the prom right now. Is this where you just got off from rehearsal?
Yes, we just did an understudy run on the 15th. It'll be running till tomorrow. But it's just been an absolutely lovely process doing the prom. Everyone in the cast and in the production team is so diverse and so lovely and inclusive, and it's just really been a great process to be a part of as an understudy.
Great. Malaya is currently an ensemble swing for the prom and is designing props for Kinky Boots, Sweeney Todd, and Clean House, all for Northwestern.
Thanks, Alicia. The prom just concluded its run this past Sunday, but I'm sure you'll be seeing Malia dancing for Polarize, designing another prop, or acting in another production in the near future. Coming up, Cooking with Chef Skelly, NNN's very own, is bringing us into her kitchen for festive friendsgiving treats.
And a live stand-up routine by an NU student comedian that's guaranteed to knock your socks off.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
One, two, three, four.
Welcome back. Unsure of what to make for your Friendsgiving dinner coming up? We now turn to NNN's very own Ellie Skelly, who is cooking up the solution.
Happy Friendsgiving! Come on in. Today, me and my friends are going to be hosting our annual Friendsgiving event, and I'm in charge of charcuterie boards and mocktails, two of my favorite things. So to start off, we're going to start off with an apple mocktail mule.
You are going to start off with a cup of ice. And then to that cup of ice, you are going to add apple cider, filling it about halfway. Next, you're going to add ginger beer and fill that to the top, leaving a little bit of room. Then you're going to add a slice of lime and squeeze that in. And then voila, that's it. That's all it takes.
Let's see how it tastes. It's really good. Okay, great. So now that we have our apple cider mocktail mule, let's get to the charcuterie board. Okay, so I'm just gonna take these limes. We can deal with them later, and there'll be more mocktails to be made. And the key to a good charcuterie board is kind of having a good range of items. Okay, so we now have our charcuterie board set up. I've got the two cheeses in the corners kind of anchoring it. We've got the river of crackers, the sea salt toffee graham cracker chocolates anchoring it down, the color of carrots, and then now we're gonna go ahead and put a ricotta in this bowl. Now you may be asking, why ricotta? Ricotta is kind of a great dippy kind of cheese. If you are a fan of like the inside of burrata, where it's kind of creamy and cheesy and all of that, ricotta kind of tastes just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in this bowl, whip it around, make it look cutesy. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do to kind of jazz it up, I'm gonna take some olive oil. We got this from Walmart, I think. You're gonna sprinkle that kind of over the ricotta, make it look a little bouge. And then I'm gonna put the sea salt on there as well. Some sea salt on there as well. Just a sprinkle. This is my charcuterie board. I still have the remnants of my apple mocktail mule. And happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, everyone, for whatever you celebrate. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that you're able to make these.
Thanks, Ellie. Those snacks look scrumptious. I know I'm personally looking forward to trying that charcuterie board, or should we call it charcutelli board?
Our next guest is Walter Todd, a stand-up comedian here on campus that has performed with the Setup, Lipstick Stand-Up, and Northwestern's longest-running stand-up show, Sit and Stand Up. Phew, that's a lot. Walter, what got you started with stand-up comedy?
Well, I have loved stand-up comedy since I was very young. Some of my earliest memories are of watching stand-up specials on Comedy Central with my family, and we had a lot of stand-up specials on DVD as well that we would eat like while we watched dinner and whatnot. So comedy has always been very, very foundational to my being. And yeah, I never had an avenue to perform it until I got here, but now that I am here at Northwestern, I do it as much as I can.
That's awesome. And going off of that, what's your favorite part about comedy?
Oh my God. I mean, there's so much. I would definitely say seeing the audience's reactions. That's one of my favorite things with stand-up comedy is the fact that you get live feedback. Like you will always know whether or not you're doing good or not because you'll always know if the audience is laughing. And when you have a set that really kills and you have this whole auditorium laughing, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Thank you so much. Well, without further ado, Walter Todd, everyone.
So I live in a small town in northwest Indiana named Hobart, and no one ever knows where that is because why would they? I mean, there's nothing relevant in Indiana besides ways to get out of Indiana. They call Indiana the crossroads of America because we have so many highways, but I just think that's a really, really nice way of saying nobody wants to stay in that godforsaken state. Sometimes, though, I'll tell people that I live close to Gary, Indiana, and some people recognize that, especially because I'm a theater major, And there's this song in this popular musical called The Music Man, and the song is named Gary, Indiana. And my truth is that I'd never heard of that song before coming here, so when I got to Northwestern, I gave it a listen. And, you know, it's a bright, chipper little tune, but let me tell you, that song is a straight up lie. No song about Gary should ever be happy. I mean, it goes like, Gary, Indiana, and that is just so misleading. I mean, if you're writing a song about Gary, Indiana, it needs to be like an orchestral requiem. You need to get like a grand organ in the background, get like a bass choir, have some people chanting in Latin, get a whole funeral procession going, because Gary is like the apocalypse on Earth. A really crazy thing about Gary is that in the year of 2020, it was #2 in murder rate in the entire nation. And Memphis, Tennessee, where I was born, was #5. Now, to partially quote Dr. Doofenshmirtz, if I had a nickel for every time I lived in a city that was top 10 in murder rate in the nation, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. It's also weird that I went from top 10 murder rate in the nation to top 10 university in the nation, but I guess that's proof that capitalism works. Am I right, guys? Speaking of capitalism, over the summer, I'll drive for DoorDash in Gary to get some pocket change, and let me tell you, I have never felt more like a video game character in my life. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, it's a lot like that, except there's no celebrity cameos and no bright colors and no fun missions. It just sucks. It's just pain and violence. Now let me get serious for a second. The saddest part about this whole thing is that the reason why Gary is as bad as it is because in the 1960s, when the town desegregated, all the white people left. They didn't want to live amongst the black people, and it messed up the economy. And the same thing happened to Memphis. Now, if I had a nickel for every time I lived in a city that was ruined by white flight, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Thank you.
That was such a great performance. I know I was laughing, and it was so great to hear some stories from the Midwest, from Indiana. I know I have to check out Gary, Indiana myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, such a great skit. Thank you so much, Walter, for stopping by and for the laughs. After the break, stay tuned for front row seats to an exclusive live performance by NU band 99% NU.
One, two, three, four.
In just a couple of minutes, we are having an NNN First. A live band will be performing on the show.
But before that, there are plenty of shows and concerts to see at NU, even with the curtains closing on the quarter. NNN's Alicia Tang is in the studio with us to break down the upcoming art scene on campus.
Thanks, Michaela. Final season for the rest of us means performance season for Beanon students, and their concert schedule is packed over the next couple weeks. There are 2 big performances coming up on November 30th. The NU Chamber Orchestra will perform at Pick Stager Concert Hall at 7:30 p.m. and the NU Jazz Orchestra will play at Galvin Recital Hall also at 7:30. Student tickets for those concerts are no more than $5 each. But if theater is more your scene, you just missed the Worth Center's run of The Prom, which closed with a Sunday matinee. But don't worry, Working a Musical featuring the music of the iconic Stephen Schwartz and Nina Faso is coming to the Warts this February. And if you're still looking for more, the Block Museum of Art is open Wednesday to Sunday next week. It is closed Thursday and Friday this week for the Thanksgiving holiday. For more information about upcoming events, visit the Planet Purple website.
Thanks, Alicia. I'll be sure to check out some of those events. They look like a lot of fun. And finally tonight, we turn to NNN's Max Rothfeder, who had a chance to talk with 99% NU ahead of their performance.
First of all, can you just tell me a little bit about how you put this band together?
Yeah, of course. Our band was first put together by Arman at Swan's first ever band formation event. Arman and I are the only original members, but now we have Arman on guitar and me on vocals, Egan on bass, and Vedant on drums. Sorry, I was going to say Ritvik, who's our older drummer, but Vedant's on drums now, and we're very happy to be performing Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers for you guys.
And now performing Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, 99% in you.
Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go write your message in the
ordinary. Can I get to what made me treat of these come down places? Teach you about the babies. Can't stop the spirits when they see you. This life is more than just a see-through.
That was such an amazing performance, and I think it's so cool that they're engineering students and they're pursuing the arts. It really shows that and is in our DNA.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That music performance, I really need to check them out. Yeah. Well, before we conclude, we really want to say goodbye to one of the most amazing co-directors that I had a chance to work with. Talia, come on stage. We're so grateful for you.
Aww.
And I think that I can't wait to spend next quarter with you, and everyone's going to miss you here.
Yes, you will be so well missed. It was so lovely having you, learning from you, working alongside you. NNN really wouldn't be NNN without you. So, just for all of us.
Yes.
You will
For
be
all of
so
us here at
missed.
NNN, thank you for everything. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Michaela Denauld.
And I'm Bridget Adu-Wadier. Thank you so much for watching our special late night edition of the Northwestern News Network. Goodbye to Talia and have a great night.